Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and my Lord of the Rings kitty says, hello my precious. Today I'm going to show you some stretches in real time for your neck. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. To start off, we're just going to get those muscles moving a little bit, warm them up, and then do the stretches. So to start off with, you're just going to rotate your head back and forth. But the thing you want to do is keep your chin up in this neutral position. So you don't want to drop it down. You want to keep it up and then just rotate to the side. So we're just going to do 5 on each side, and it can be kind of a continuous motion. You're just really kind of loosening everything up so you're not stretching those muscles cold, because you don't really want to stretch muscles cold unless you have to, like first thing in the morning. But other than that, you really want to kind of loosen them up a little bit. So that's 5 on each side. Then the next one is going to be a side bend. So you're taking your ear down towards your shoulder, but it's not bringing your shoulder up, it's bringing that ear down. But again, keep that head kind of in that neutral position, and then just go down, ear towards the shoulder, and then alternate back and forth. So again, just do about 5 of these. You're really just kind of loosening everything up. You don't have to go super slow. You don't have to go super fast. You're just trying to get those muscles kind of awake and ready to go, a little bit warm, so when you're stretching, you can actually get some benefit from the stretch. And then the last one of the movements is just going to be an up and down. Now with the going back up this way, be a little careful if you have neck issues, because sometimes this can make people feel dizzy. So, you know, if that makes you feel dizzy going all the way up, just bring it up a little bit, bring your eyes up, and then bring your chin towards your chest. So again, just about 5 of these. These kind of stretches work really well for headaches, or if you have some neck spasms, or maybe if you've strained it. A lot of times people wake up with a crick in their neck. Sometimes these really help as well. So let's just do one more of each of those. Then the next one to get everything going before we go into the stretches is a chin tuck. And it's not chin tuck going down this way, it's chin tuck coming in this way. So you're gonna have lots of chins, make you look like you got lots of folds in the neck, but that's kind of what you wanna do. So it's something you might not want to do around a whole lot of other people unless you don't care. But basically what I like to do to know that you're doing it correctly is place your finger on your chin and then move that chin away. So this time you're going to hold it for about 3 seconds. Doesn't have to be exact, and then come back. And then you can see that I've kind of corrected myself. And then you can move it again. Do that just about 3, maybe 5 seconds. And then relax. Come back in. Do that again. Little hold. And again, this is just kind of putting that spine in a neutral position, getting those muscles where they're supposed to be, working everything a little bit. But see how my chin is going straight back. It's not coming down and tucking in like that. It's just going straight back, almost like if I had my hand back there and I'm trying to push into my hand. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the stretches. Stretches, the best results for stretches is holding it for 30 seconds and doing 3 of each of them. So I'm gonna use my timer to get the stretches in. We're gonna start off with just a trap stretch for your upper traps. And what I like to do with the hand of the side you're stretching is really just kind of hang it down. If you have a chair that you can hold on to it, because that keeps the shoulder down. Because if you're stretching and your shoulder comes up, you're not really stretching those upper trap muscles. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start this and we're gonna get going. Just take the opposite hand and pull over. So getting a nice stretch in there, a nice hold. You want those stretches to be comfortable. You don't want pain in there. If you happen to feel a little pop, but it's not painful, that's okay. That's just your spine kind of adjusting itself and realigning itself. But if it's painful, definitely stop. But again, this is really good for like those neck spasms you have. A lot of times tension headaches, you just need to get that stretch in there, and that really helps loosen it up. Sometimes you can alternate sides. I like alternating sides just because you give the other side a little bit of a break. If you don't alternate sides, then you want to give yourself about a 5 to 10 second break in between. So let's go ahead and do the other side. So holding it down onto that chair and then pulling over to the other side. Again, try and keep that head in this kind of neutral position. So I'm not turning down this way. I'm just looking straight ahead and trying to pull that ear towards the other side. So you should feel that stretch kind of right in through there. You might see my muscle coming out just a little bit, and that just means that it's stretching. It should feel good. That good kind of hurt, not that just hurt. If it's just a hurt, then it's probably something that you really need to go get checked out. All right, and the other side. Nice stretch there, nice and relaxed. And sometimes if your muscles are really tight and they start to loosen up, you might be holding here and then you don't feel the stretch quite as much anymore, and then just give it a little bit more of a pull until you feel that tension again. So you don't have to hold it in that same spot the whole time. You can push it a little bit, again, if it's not painful. You know, stretching's uncomfortable. It's, you know, it's a, maybe it hurts a little bit, but it feels good kind of thing. Remember, again, if you feel like it's something that's trying to pop in there, if it's not painful, that's okay. But if it hurts, if it's like, oh, that just doesn't feel right, definitely stop, because the neck is something that you don't want to be pulling and tugging on it if there's something not good going on in there. This is really just for, you know, a muscle strain, those tension headaches, maybe a spasm in there, something like that, just to kind of get everything moving in there again. And nice hold. Starting to feel those muscles getting warmed up there. Nice and loose, nice and comfortable. Nice deep breaths. All right, let's go back to the other side. Again, keeping that shoulder down. See, if I don't hold on, it kind of comes up a little bit. And so you really want to kind of hold it down and then just get that nice stretch in there. If you have a little bit of a headache, sometimes just taking some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, get some extra oxygen in there, and that helps with the circulation. That sometimes makes you feel better as well. So just kind of a, and sometimes that helps those muscles relax just a little bit as well. So the next one is going to be for your levator scap muscle. And the reason you want to stretch that one out is that muscle in the back there. A lot of times you're like, oh, that hurts right there. That's where that levator scap muscle is. It comes up, and if you have a lot of tension, a lot of times people hold their tension like this, and that's putting a lot of stress on that muscle. So if you stretch it out, a lot of times you can get that tension out of there. This one's kind of a weird position. If you have shoulder issues, you might have to modify it a little bit. But the side you want to stretch, you're going to bring that hand up this way, almost where your elbow's trying to go up towards the ceiling. It doesn't have to go all the way up. It can be about here, but that's the goal, is to try and get it up. And then take the other hand, put it behind your head, and go out at an angle. So it's almost like you're trying to take your head over towards your opposite knee. So it's kind of at that angle. So it's going to be this motion. Let's get that started. Have to reset it first, and then we can go. All right, so behind my head and pulling over. So again, it's going to be more at an angle now, and that's kind of getting that levator scapula muscle. And that one is a big cause of tension, a lot of pain, and it's connected to the scapula, and that has over 20 muscle attachments to it. So anytime one of those muscles or several of those muscles aren't working correctly, it can cause a whole lot of problems in the neck, upper back, and shoulder area. So this is definitely something you really want to stretch. And now we're going to switch sides, up this way, and then pulling across. So again, I'm almost looking at that opposite knee. It's not over here, it's not straight down, it's kind of at an angle. You're gonna feel it in that area right through there. And again, you want it to be that comfortable. You don't want it to be painful. Just a nice tension, nice stretch in there. The great thing about these is you can easily do them at your desk. If you're working a lot of times people tend to kind of get their head going forward, leaning in towards the computer, and then you're so busy what you're doing on the computer that 2 hours later you look up and you have a lot of neck pain and upper back pain because you've been in a terrible position the whole time. So just doing some of these stretches while you're sitting there, even if you're at work, is pretty easy to do without having to get on the ground or get any kind of equipment or anything like that. All right, and then back again. Try and keep your back pretty upright as well. Don't kind of pull it forward. That takes away from that stretch a little bit. If you do some, that's okay. Sometimes if you're stretching and nobody's watching you, you're not quite sure, but just kind of push back into the chair every once in a while to make sure that you're sitting fairly upright, and so then you don't end up making your back sore as well. Nice big stretch. Make sure that you have some deodorant on because you're right there in that armpit. Then you can do the sniff check without being obvious. You're like, no, I'm just doing some stretches right now. Luckily, my Lord of Ring kitties got me covered. Smelling good. All right, and now for the last one on this side. Up and hold. Nice stretch on this side, nice and relaxed. And again, if you feel like it's hurting, a lot of times the reason you don't want to stretch if you're having a lot of pain is because your muscles go into what we call muscle guarding, and you can try and push on it, but if they're guarding, they're actually just pulling back, and so that extra pain lots of times is counter beneficial of the stretching. So those were your stretches for your neck to make sure that you loosen everything up. If you have tension headaches, muscle spasms, just maybe a strain in your neck, or maybe even you wake up in the morning, you got that crick in your neck that you don't remember doing anything to it, maybe you just slept on it wrong. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you'd like to check out some other videos, go to AskDoctorJo.com. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.